Hello and welcome to In the Picture, your movie source for review, discussion, and recommendation. I am Miles Cardan, surprise, and joining me today are Preston Fossback.
This feels backwards.
And Shane Jones, also known as Captain Awesome.
Hello.
Today, we are going to be reviewing the film Rampage, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And I guess that's it. Is anyone else in this movie? There's a big
The
gorilla.
girl from 28 Days Later is in it.
That
Naomi Harris.
Yes, sir. And a big CGI gorilla that is not motion captured by Andy Serkis for once.
I was wondering about that when I was watching. Is this Andy Serkis? Can't be.
So this film Rampage is based off of the 1986 arcade game. And Shane, you've played this game a little bit.
Yeah.
What is the game? What do you do in it?
You pretty much just walk around and punch buildings for points and eat people. I don't know. I may have played a different version of Rampage than the original, but that's what I did.
Is the alligator in the version you played?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember the alligator, but I remember playing as the gorilla and the wolf.
I may have played a more recent one because I had like multiple options other than those three.
Yeah, I remember going to ground control and playing the arcade cabinet. It was pretty fun, but how on earth they made a movie out of this, I don't understand.
Yeah, how could you not make a movie out of that? That's what I want to know. So this film, the premise goes like this. When three different animals become infected with a dangerous pathogen, a primatologist and a geneticist team up to stop them from destroying Chicago. So, I did not see this movie, hence why I am hosting. I had no interest in seeing this movie.
You made that very clear.
I don't think Preston did either, but he's more of a sport than I am, and he went and saw it. Shane, were you looking forward to this film?
No.
So nobody was looking forward to it. However, two of us saw it, and they're going to share their thoughts. Preston, we'll start with you. Did this movie do anything to change your preconceived notions going in?
It was a little bit worse than I thought it would be. So, yeah, I guess it did in that respect. I didn't realize Malin Ackerman was in this from Watchmen fame and knew Jim from The Office. I mean, I don't know. The cast from this movie did a terrible job. Not like it was their fault, but this script is just bad. I don't know. I did not really enjoy this. There are a few interesting action scenes, but they don't really pop up until much later, and they're very short.
Well,
And,
I guess what were some of the shortcomings of the script to give us a better idea?
People say things that are just dumb in this movie.
Was it like just things you've heard before, or was it just like nobody would ever?
It's just bad screenwriting. Like, I don't know. In the beginning part, you see this in the trailer, you know, excuse me, the gorilla comes up and like scares the new guy at the zoo or the sanctuary or wherever the fuck they are. And The Rock is like, hey, your joke, look, I laugh, he cry. And then he goes on, he's like, cry is the opposite of laugh. I'm just like, yeah, I fucking know that. Like, why are you wasting lines in the script? And then there's like a part where a character flirts with The Rock, and it's just really awkward. And God, everything just feels very ham-fisted. And this seems like, I know that just about every movie that's produced by Hollywood these days is a cash grab. You know, that's how businesses work and whatever. But this one just feels like a cash grab. Like, there's nothing else really in there for me to latch onto besides this looks like a movie they could market and make their money back on. That's about it.
All right, some not so kind words from Preston there.
Yeah,
Shane.
I hope you didn't enjoy this movie. So, full disclosure, Pacific Rim Uprising may have dumbed my brain a bit. I don't know what's wrong with me. And don't get me wrong, Rampage is stupid.
Don't let my thoughts influence your
It is.
take.
No,
Shane.
don't get me wrong. Rampage is a dumb movie, but it is extremely fun to watch. I don't know. It may have just been because this is the movie that I kind of wanted Pacific Rim to be, where it's not just dumb like we were kind of talking about. No, it's pretty fun. Like if you could get past the stupid dialogue and bad character development and convenient plot devices.
Which I could not.
Yeah, and just don't think about it too much. Just enjoy the cool popcorn flick.
So what were some of the aspects that made it fun for you?
Chicago got wrecked, and Chicago's the worst, so that was awesome.
So you don't mind kind of like the big city destruction, CGI destruction.
Nah, I actually love that quite a bit.
Somebody must be a fan of Man of Steel.
Hey, yeah, I'm not even kidding. I do enjoy that.
I knew that when I said it.
I think I kind of enjoyed Man of Steel as well,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Preston, the city destruction or the funness of the city destruction wasn't enough to win you over, apparently.
I didn't find it all that fun. It didn't seem to be shot particularly well for my taste. Like the Avengers, the first Avengers film, like I think about the shots of the Hulk, like tearing into buildings. Like, I don't know. I just felt a much more visceral reaction to all that stuff. This just feels like they kind of shot some skyscrapers with a camera and they were like, we'll figure out how the characters are working in later. I don't know. Maybe I'm making
Was there
that up,
ever a sense of like peril? Like did you ever think that any of the characters were in danger?
No, in fact, I don't want to spoil anything, but I guess at one point I was like, oh my God, that just happened. And then it totally was undercut by something that they're like, well, we can't have too much of a downer here. So
Shane, what did you think? Was there enough tension or was it just pretty much just mindless CGI action?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't any tension really. I mean, the trailer kind of spoiled the entire third act. You know what's going to happen. Chicago gets destroyed. But yeah, I mean, it just put your brain on pause for a minute. Don't think too hard about it and enjoy it. Which I did. I enjoyed it.
I can't pause my brain. It just goes. I can't
Come
stop
on.
it.
So,
All
yeah.
right. Preston, what would you give this film score out of 10?
I give it a 4.
4 out of 10.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. But hey, I'm not gonna say it's like bad for everybody. There are definitely some people who would enjoy this. So I mean, I guess if you
Like
just
Shane.
care about action scenes, no. Like there are some funny parts. I guess my audience didn't really laugh at anything except maybe like once when someone gives someone else the finger. That was like the biggest laugh, I guess. But yeah, I mean, there's a certain kind of person who would like this. And I'm not trying to make like a judgment statement or anything, but yeah, if you like, I guess, stuff getting destroyed, I mean, go for it. I mean, it's not for me, but
Well, actually, let's backtrack a little bit. Like in the marketing, because we haven't really talked about this yet. Like it's all centers around the big gorilla, right? Is that Rampage, the gorilla?
No.
Rampage
No.
is just
It's
what
just
happens.
What happens? So
Yeah.
does
The
the gorilla
gorilla's
have
name
a
is George.
George.
Yeah,
Okay.
George.
And for some reason, they say the internet names the wolf Ralph.
Ralph.
Like, that's the most uninteresting internet name ever ascribed to anything. The internet doesn't name things like that.
That was definitely a callback to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Was-
also just... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Miles.
What like so I mean I feel like the gorilla George, you said?
George.
George. I'm sorry, I'm knocking stuff over here. Was kind of like was the centerpiece of the marketing. So was he a centerpiece of the film as well?
Well, yeah, the whole thing kind of rides on his relationship with Dwayne Johnson's character, Davis Okonkwo. I don't know his last name. That's from the book Things Fall Apart.
Yeah.
I don't remember his last name, but it's something similar to that. Yeah, I mean...
But like this is a movie that strives on spectacle, and you've got the CGI monsters and the CGI destruction. All
I will say the CGI looks really good.
so
for
it
the gorillas,
delivers.
at
It
least.
delivers on that promise of a, at least.
Yeah,
part.
I would say for the most part the CGI is good.
Yeah, I mean, Weta did it, and I've yet to see something from them that I didn't like. The giant crocodile that you see in the trailer, that thing looked really good, and George looked really good, but the wolf, that one was a little iffy. But it seems like they put all their effort into George, and man, if you didn't know any better, that was like a real ape. I don't know. They've got their gorilla down.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Shane, this came together a little bit better for you than it did Preston. What would you give this? What rating would you give this?
Going with a 6.5. Yeah, if you enjoyed San Andreas, which is this director's previous film, you'll enjoy this quite a bit. It's just go have fun at the movie or at the movie theater and eat popcorn and enjoy the cool stuff. I don't know. If you want a smart movie, go watch A Quiet Place, I guess.
Yes, go see A Quiet Place again, please.
All right, so there you have it. Our thoughts on, well, not mine, but theirs. Thoughts on Rampage. So, next up, we wanted to recommend a few films, keeping in the theme with Rampage, which is kind of a creature feature, as we like to dub them. So we all came up with a film that you can go and watch on a streaming service. I'm kind of surprised Netflix didn't really have much in regards of this category. So we
try to do like monster themed films,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so we expanded outside of Netflix to Amazon Prime and HBO Now, which we think there should be enough of you out there who have those services. So, Preston, do you want to start us off again with your recommendation? Let us know where you can watch it.
All right, so this is kind of a cheat. It's not really a monster film per se, but there are monster type creatures in it. And this is a film from 2005 called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, based on probably one of the greatest book series ever written. If you haven't read those books, you should go check them out. But if you haven't seen the movie, you should also check it out. It's on HBO Now and HBO Go. And I think I mentioned it came out in 2005. It stars Martin Freeman, Mos Def, Sam Rockwell, Zooey Deschanel, and I guess that's the main cast. And it's just like a really what's his name? Guy who plays Severus Snape. He's in it.
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman is in this too, in a pretty hilarious role. And it's just like a goofy, funny, clever story that's very sci-fi, but it's a nice solid adventure. And if you can find it on if you can stream it to your large screen TV, it would look really, really nice on it, especially for some of the stuff toward the end, which is pretty breathtaking. So I would say check out Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy if you're into sci-fi. I mean, they talk about CRISPR so much in Rampage. Like, if you aren't into sci-fi, you might be turned off by Rampage too. So, I mean, give this a shot. It's kind of goofy and fun. So, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I'm a big fan of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as well. Shane, what was your streaming pick?
So, my movie is another dumb movie, but I just happened to find it. I don't know if you guys have found yourself scrolling through all of the endless Amazon Prime free stuff, but they have some pretty interesting things on there if you haven't seen. Anyways, found footage is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I try and find every single one of them that I could possibly find and watch them just because I enjoy them just for being found footage, I guess. I don't know why. But anyways, my movie is called Evidence. It's on Amazon Prime. I don't think it's on anything else, so good luck finding it if you don't have Amazon Prime. But yeah, it's just kind of a dumb creature feature with these kids that go out in the forest and something's in the background watching them. And then all of a sudden, like, chaos just breaks loose and everything's going crazy, and it's more than just this. They go and do all this crazy stuff. So it's not the typical forest movie. Yeah, nothing too exciting from me.
All right. For my pick, I also went with HBO Now, and I chose a film from 1990, which makes it 28 years old now, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. This is Tremors. The original, the first one, it has 4 sequels, which we won't talk about. But the first one was kind of something special, I think. This kind of came out of nowhere at the time, starring the one and only Kevin Bacon. can't go wrong there. But that also probably tells you everything you need to know about it. And it's, I feel like it's probably one of those movies that anyone over the age of 26 has probably, stumbled across in their childhood. But a lot of you younger generation types may not have discovered it quite yet. So definitely check it out. Basically, it's about a small isolated town that has to defend themselves against these giant underground monsters that are killing them off. It's just basically just this pulpy B movie, and it's just a lot of fun to watch. It's full of all these practical effects that are just something that you don't see nowadays because everything's just so over reliant on CGI. And just when you think about all the creativity that goes into creating these practical effects of like the monsters moving under the ground and like rippling up the earth and just all of, like the kind of the gore splatter effects and everything, like it's makes it really fun to watch. And it's kind of a shame that we don't get too many movies like that anymore, because it doesn't try to be any kind of like how I argued for in favor of Pacific Rim a couple weeks ago. Like, this movie doesn't try to be anything other than it is, and I think it's stronger for that. So Tremors is my streaming recommendation that you can watch now on HBO.
Yeah, I remember seeing that movie for the first time when I was like 8, and it legitimately scared me. Like, I had several nightmares. I was like, God, they're in the ground. They're going to get me. I went over to like my cousin's house, and he's like, you need to watch this. And I'm like, okay. And yeah, that movie scared me. I'd have to go back and revisit it though, because I don't know if it holds up. When was the last time you've seen it?
Oh, it's been a few years. It's probably been like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. Well, it's been longer than that, at least a decade. But yeah, it's a good movie.
Have you seen it, Preston?
No, I have not. I am under the age of 26. But Shane is too, so I guess that's not an excuse.
No.
But now I know where to find it.
Exactly.
HBO Now.
All right. Well, I believe that's all we've got for today's episode. I think you will be joining us next time when we review Avengers Infinity War. Is that right, guys?
Yeah.
That's going to be a big one.
Not next week, but the week after, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think we're taking a week off here, gentlemen.
Yep. Take a brief hiatus. See the world. Travel a little bit.
So, yep, that's all we've got for you today. Hope you enjoyed listening. As always, you can find us on facebook.com/inthepicture, or you can tweet at us at AskInThePicture. We're also now on YouTube and SoundCloud. iTunes. And I guess
if you want to find the YouTube links, you can go to our Facebook. And we'll now start posting our new episodes on Twitter, right, Jane?
Yeah, I will definitely post our new episodes on Twitter.
So you should be able to find them on our Twitter as well.
We're still a work in progress.
Yeah.
Well, this was nice, Miles. I think you should host permanently. I enjoyed this.
I don't.
All right, well, TBD.
We can create a poll.
We'll create a Twitter poll. All of our followers can vote if they even have listened to this far.
I wouldn't. No.
Look, I'm just trying.
No, I think we're great. I totally listened this far.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to survive till our next episode.
Yeah, Shane, you want to talk about why you were in the hospital this week?
Oh, yeah.
Shane almost died, guys.
Don't worry about it. It was just an allergic reaction that I had to be rushed to the ER for. It was cool. On my birthday, kind of, like hours before my birthday.
Happy birthday, Shane.
Yeah.
Everybody wish Shane happy birthday.
The gift was knowing how precious your life is.
If you didn't turn this off after our Rampage review, and you're still listening, I guess you could do that.
I feel like I've been overly negative this episode, guys. I'm sorry. I just want to say I drank quite heavily before recording this to get the taste of that movie out of my mouth.
And with that, I am Miles Cardan.
I'm Preston Fossback.
I am awesome Shane Jones.
And this has been In the Picture.
Boom.
Goodbye.